So a little subtle clue as to what we're going to talk about for the next few minutes, the single market, and now a kind of pound shop Strictly move as I pretend to be a sandwich board man and spin round to what we're also going to talk about, and hopefully that says customs union behind me. That's the subject of our discussion with our incredibly expensive props here for the next few minutes with Anand Menon, who is from a UK in a changing Europe, and we also have Joe and Violet and Elizabeth. An afternoon to all of you. Let's talk about then the single market first. And Joe, when that term gets bandied around by wafflers like me, does it mean anything?
For me, it probably just means between goods and services as opposed to people. And it means that we don't talk to Europe as a union, but we talk to single nations on their own.
And offer us a sort of brief explanation of the single market.
The key to the single market is rules. That is to say that if you're in a single market, you basically adopt the same rules in some areas, whether it's about goods, services, the movement of people. And what that means is that if I'm manufacturing something or selling a service, I can sell it in Lisbon as easily as in Liverpool because the rules are the same. The price you pay for that is you need institutions to make sure that you're enforcing those rules properly, and then you get the court, the commission and all those supranational institutions the Brexiters don't like. But they are there to make that single market work.
Now, Violet, I'll be really honest with you. I worked in Brussels for 2 years as a correspondent, and I've spent the last few years reporting on Brexit. And if somebody about 5 years ago, even after I came back from Brussels, had asked me to cogently define the customs union, I'd have struggled. And I'm kind of paid to understand this. When that kind of phrase gets trotted out, as it does all the time at the moment, what does it mean to you, if anything?
Well, from my knowledge, I would think the customs union has to do with tariffs on goods and the fact that within the union, a block of area of countries, that there is no tariff on the goods between those countries. But however, tariff would be applied to goods coming into that union. Am I correct?
I think you are pretty much, aren't you? So tariffs are sort of taxes on stuff that's brought into a country or brought into a block, and that's kind of the gist of it, isn't it?
You don't need me now. I mean, the other thing I'd say, because this is crucial to the Brexit debate, is the other thing that we do in a customs union is you have a common external tariff. So yes, you charge tariffs on goods coming in. Everyone charges the same tariffs, and what that means is it limits our ability, if we're in a customs union, to strike trade deals with other countries, because in a customs union we have to keep our tariffs the same as the rest of the other members.
And Elizabeth, bringing you into the conversation, you've been in Luton for a good number of years, but you're from Sweden originally, and I wonder what your perspective is as you hear conversations about all of these baffling terms, as someone who's been in the UK for very, very many years, but you have a tie to another country in Europe.
Yes, I've been here for 40 years, in Luton anyway. I've been here longer in the UK than that. I take a lot of interest in the debate, but I've been a bit lazy about finding out what all the terms mean. And it seems all a bit crazy. I wish they'd call the whole thing off, basically.
And of course there's plenty of others who would say let's hurry up with the whole thing and get it done and embrace it and revere it and have campaigned for it for life. Anand, let's talk about customs again and this whole thing, because there's a row going on at the moment around this so-called backstop that we were trying to explain earlier, and a lot of it boils down to how close or not the customs arrangement is between the UK and the EU after Brexit. And there's argument obviously with the EU about that, but there's an argument between the political parties about that, the big political parties.
Yeah, in a sense what the backstop is pretty close to a customs union. There's also a debate about a customs union versus the customs union being the thing that the member states have. But basically what we'll have if the backstop comes into effect, and of course there's an argument about whether it will or not, is something that's very close to a customs union. So in essence, the Labour position, which is to say we want a permanent customs union, is not that far away from what we have via the backstop anyway.
Thank you, Anand, and thank you all as well.